Thrive is back. Thrive is a virtual conference that I have been hosting for the last 3 years as a way to celebrate my birthday, because I can't think of a better way to celebrate my birthday than hosting a virtual conference. The first year, our focus was on personal and leadership development. Last year, our theme for the conference was reinvention. And this year, our theme is design, build, and drive your career. An amazing lineup of speakers are waiting to pour into you all their knowledge, their experience, their insights to inspire you and give you the tools to continue to grow your career and continue your path to your personal development. I hope to really see you there on the event. It's taking place September 8th and it's completely free. You can grab your ticket. Tickets are limited, so go grab yours. You can find the link on the show notes of this podcast episode. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the 6 a.m. Club, where we start our day inspired. Like every weekend, I have a new quote that hopefully helps you start your day inspired. And the quote is, if you don't like something, change it. If you can change it, change the way you think about it. I think this quote is fascinating and it's really, really powerful because I think we all have been in a situation that has felt overwhelming or unchangeable, a situation where we feel stuck, where we feel like there's nothing that can be done and we feel like the victim in that story. And when I read this quote, I think this quote offers us the power of changing any situation that feels that way, even when we think that we can change the situation. So the first part of the quote suggests if something is not working, if you don't like something anymore, change it. And how many times we get stuck in the situation, even though we have all the power to actually change the situation. An example could be you're stuck in a job that no longer fulfills you, that feels that you're part of a toxic culture, that you don't like it, that you struggle to wake up every morning to go to work. But you still wake up every morning and go to work because you think you're stuck and you have no alternative. While you could apply for other jobs internally inside the same company. You could start looking for another job elsewhere. You could start developing new skills that align with your passion so you can actually move to a job that it's fulfilling, whether it's inside the same company or somewhere else. Or maybe you can start your own business. And while some of these alternatives feel scary sometimes, and there's a lot of risk involved in making some of those decisions, you have the power to change the situation. You just need to arm yourself with the courage to make that decision and change it. Now, there are times where you are going to find yourself in situations that actually you can't change. There are situations that are beyond your control, like an illness or a global event or a loss. And in those moments, even the quote offers us a valuable lesson: the power of perspective. If there is a situation that no longer brings you joy, that it's depleting your energy, it's something that that you don't like and you can change it, you always can change your perspective from which you look at the situation. Going back to my example of working or feeling stuck in a job that no longer fulfills you. I remember one time, I think there is no perfect company, there is no perfect job, there is no perfect boss. And I was in a job that there were aspects of my job that I didn't like in every other job that I've been. And I'm sure you can relate to this. There's always things that we like and with things that we don't like. And sometimes we feel we can change the things that we don't like because they're just part of our job and we are supposed to do those things. And yet we don't want to change jobs because of those things, because there are many other things in our job that brings us fulfillment. I think we all can relate to that at one point. Well, I remember one time I was working on a manufacturing plant, and corporate every month will ask us to put together all these reports. And I hated to put these reports together. One, because it was tedious, it was a lot of manual work, but most importantly, because I had no idea what was anyone doing with the reports that I was putting together. I thought there was no value in me putting those reports together because we never heard back what was happening with that information, what decisions were impacted by that information. It was just a report, it was busy work. That's the way I saw it. And it was very frustrating to me. Everything else in my job, I love. I was very happy in my job, but there was this one time of the month that I was very frustrated and I hated my job because of these reports. Now, I couldn't change the reports. This was part of my job. It was an expectation. I had to do the reports. I had no one to delegate to. It was just me. I had to do them. So I decided to change my perspective. Instead of looking at those reports as something that I had to do that had no value, I decided to, since I was doing the reports anyways, to analyze the data, draw conclusions from those reports, and suggest actions that could be taken to improve our KPIs that were reflected in those reports. And I remember the next time I sent the report, not only I sent the report, but I sent the analysis and the recommendations. And not only I sent it to corporate, but I remember sharing it with my boss and the plant manager at the time. And long story short, all of a sudden, I was so excited about those reports because now I felt that I could put in practice the things that I love about my job. I could think strategically. I could make an impact. I could offer solutions versus just doing the administrative task of running the reports. I didn't have to change my job. I didn't have to change anything about the reports that I was doing. I just needed to change my perspective, the way I was looking at those reports. And like this, we can, I'm sure, find examples in any other area of our lives, in our relationships, in our personal life, in our hobbies, in the things that we do every day. When you can't change the external circumstances, we always can change the way we think about them. It's about finding resilience in the face of adversity, seeking lessons in challenges, and finding gratitude in what remains constant. Reframing your thoughts empower you to navigate through tough times with grace and strength, and to find meaning in things that maybe today have no meaning to you. Embracing this mindset shift doesn't mean dismissing all the negative emotions that you might feel about a situation. Maybe not about a report, but how about a loss or an illness, right? Changing your mindset and your perspective doesn't mean that you dismiss the emotions and the feelings that you feel about the situation, but it's about acknowledging those emotions while choosing to see the bigger picture. It's about discovering the silver linings and learning to adapt. Our mindsets are incredibly powerful tools capable of shaping our reality. By shifting our thoughts, we can transform our experiences and find fulfillment and joy and peace, even in situations that seem overwhelming and unchangeable. So, how can we implement this in our lives today? Well, I think the first step is awareness, right? Pay attention to your thoughts and your reactions. When you're faced with something that you don't like, that frustrates you, that feels unchangeable, pause and reflect on what is your immediate response to that situation. Then ask yourself, can I change this? If not, how can I shift my perspective? By consciously choosing to respond differently, you open the door to personal growth and to resilience. Additionally, practicing gratitude and mindfulness, cultivating gratitude for the things that you cherish and savor the present moments can be really powerful in helping you not only change your perspective, but change your emotions and your feelings towards that situation. By changing the situation itself, changing your how you experience the situation as a result of changing your perspective. So here's my challenge and invitation for you today. Are you currently going through a situation that feels overwhelming, the situation that you feel that you can change, that you feel stuck? Ask yourself this question. Can you change this situation? What can you change about this situation? Arm yourself with courage and change it. And if you can change it, how can you change your perspective towards this situation? Remember, whenever faced with challenge, remember that you hold the power to create change within you. And when you encounter situations beyond your control, embrace the art of shifting your perspective. And as you change your perspective, the way you experience that situation will change. I hope this was inspiring. I hope you have a great day today. And I can't wait to talk to you again next Monday for a new episode of the Leading Yourself podcast.